Good afternoon, everyone. I'm very happy to see you here in New York, the city of the Temple of the Sun and of the Goddess of Liberty. I would like to say that we are playing behind now the music that comes from page 14 of your mantra booklets. These are the Buddhist mantras. We'll start at the beginning with number 52, Om Mani Padme Hum. And the reason we are not starting right at 2:30 is because we have many more people desiring to get in than there were tickets and places for. So you who are seated are those who got your tickets first, and there's standing room only for the rest of the people. So they are having to buy tickets and enter, and we are welcoming everyone to sit along the sides and down in front right up to the stage. I'd like to ask our ushers to allow people to come in. You who have seats, you might wish to guard them. It's going to be a long 3 hours to be sitting on the floor. So while we're tending everyone coming in, let us meditate. I recommend that you place your feet flat on the floor and have your spines erect and recognize that from this moment through the 3 hours we are in meditation, and to greet the Buddha who resides in the crown chakra and in the secret chamber of the heart, we desire to raise the sacred fire of the Divine Mother from the base chakra. And so it is the Divine Mother within us and our souls one with the Divine Mother in adoration of the Buddha that causes the light to rise. The Mother is in love with the Buddha. The Buddha is in the crown, drawing the Mother to that crown. The Mother is rising to greet her Lord. And so this is the purpose of these mantras, and I would ask you to center in your heart and realize that it is the flame of your heart that allows you to participate in the great ritual of the union of the Father, Mother, God in your heart, who does give birth to the inner Buddha and the inner Christ. So let us begin.
Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum.
14, the Buddhist mantras.
Oh Gatte gatte parasam gatte bodhisvaha gatte parasam gatte bodhisvaha gatte parasam gatte bodhisvaha gatte parasam gatte bodhisvaha
Page 14. Page 14, Buddhist mantras. Page 12. I wish you all a happy WESAK. Before I begin, I would like to invite any of you who are standing on the side, if you would prefer to sit on the floor, in front here there is plenty of room. If you'd like to come forward at this time. It's a question of standing or sitting on the floor. I'd like you to turn in these mantra booklets to page 12. While we're getting seated, I would like you to look at the cover of your booklet. And you'll see the Chakra Man. And this is yourself, a runner in the race of life, running to receive the prize of the high calling of the inner Christ and the inner Buddha. These 7 chakras show you how the rainbow rays of God from your causal body are emitted through your physical temple. Various schools of thought in the New Age, as well as in the past century, have given colors for the chakras. People ask me why they are different. These are the colors released from the Ascended Masters, and as you know, I am their messenger, so I cannot speak for others. So today, these are the 7 rays and the 7 chakras that we will meditate upon. This is the wondrous day when there is the celebration of the Buddha's birth, his enlightenment, and his parinirvana. It occurs at the full moon in May. The month of May, the WESAK, the word is taken from WESAK, meaning that month. Traditionally, the Lord of the world, Gautama Buddha, does deliver his address on this day, and in a certain valley in the Himalayas, all of his disciples gather, and some of them are able to see him and to receive his words directly. As we cannot all receive his words directly, so I am sent as the messenger of the Ascended Masters, he being one of the Ascended Masters, to deliver their dictations to you. So we will hear Lord Gautama's WESAK address delivered today. Whether it is simultaneous or not is of no consequence, since that message comes from his causal body, is recorded in the ethers, and will be delivered to us at the conclusion of our meditation. Our goal this afternoon is to raise our consciousness, to increase the light within our temples, so that we may rise and meet him as though we would rise into the air and meet him. And so, for this purpose, we devote some of our time to clearing the chakras and to raising of that sacred fire by mantras. You have already begun in the giving of these Buddhist mantras. Now I would like to tell you that no matter which one of the world's religions, you will always find the archangel who was the great protector of our beings mentioned. Archangel Michael is known as the great intercessor, the captain of the Lord's hosts, who appeared to Joshua and to Moses, who figures in the book of Revelation and comes out of the east by any number of names according to whether it's the Zoroastrian, Buddhist, Hindu, and so forth traditions. There are 7 archangels, and these 7 archangels serve on the 7 rays. The 7 color rays that you see in your chakras correspond to these rays. The first ray is the blue ray, if you look at the cover of your booklet. The blue ray is the first ray of God's power, and that chakra is the center of power, the power of speech, the power of the spoken word. The second ray is the ray of wisdom and divine illumination. It is yellow. It is the crown chakra, the 1,000-petal lotus, signifying the enlightenment and the realization of Buddhahood. The third ray is the ray of divine love, and that is the heart chakra. It is pink. The fourth ray is the white ray. It is the base of the spine chakra, the sacred fire, and the divine mother. The fifth ray is the ray of science, truth, and healing. It is green. It corresponds to the third eye. The sixth ray is at the solar plexus. It is purple and gold. The solar plexus chakra is just below the heart at about the navel. And finally, the seventh ray is the violet ray, which is the seat of the soul chakra. It is midpoint between the solar plexus and the base of the spine. It is violet. Now that is the place where the soul resides in the body. That is the chakra to which your soul is attached. It also is below the heart, hence it represents the subconscious. The soul always knows, but the outer mind does not accept or retain. The soul knows what is coming upon the earth. The soul knows your past history and previous embodiments. The soul knows all things independent of our indoctrination in this life. Those of you who take any form of the martial arts out of the East know that that is the point of center. And so that is where the soul is positioned. The goal of the soul in this embodiment is to rise to the level of the heart, and from the point of the heart also to the crown chakra. What is below the heart represents our karma of all previous lifetimes, and the soul is centered in that karma, having been a party to the making of that karma. So the age of Aquarius opens us into an age of soul liberation, the liberation of that soul. The means whereby we are liberated is the sacred fire, but specifically the sacred fire that comes from the seventh ray. The seventh ray aspect of the sacred fire is the violet flame. So the violet flame is the key to transmutation, or the balancing of karma. Karma is made, good karma is made by sending forth light and good vibes, good energy, good deeds, good works, thoughts, and feelings through each of the 7 chakras. You make good karma on the second ray of cosmic Christ illumination, the Buddhic illumination, by a true exercise of wisdom and of that ray. So you may have a lot of good karma on many of these chakras, and all of the good karma you have made on these 7 rays has already risen to your great body of light, which the Buddhists would call the Dharmakaya, the top body in this chart of 3 figures, 3 bodies. The Dharmakaya shows as the I am that I am in the center, revealed to Moses, and just as familiar to Lord Buddha and to Christ Jesus. Those 7 color bands in your causal body contain all of your good works of all lifetimes that you have ever sent forth into the universe through these 7 rays and 7 chakras. Immediately when you send out the purity of those rays, pure love, the pure use of the will of God in the spoken word, pure seeing, beholding the good in everyone, the purity of desiring, right desire, as Gautama taught us on the Eightfold Path. The purity of the 7th ray is freedom, that very living flame of freedom. The purity then of the heart is divine love. The purity of the base chakra, the purity of the white fire, and the sacred fire in its uses. So all of this is in what is called the causal body. All of those rings surrounding the I Am Presence are your causal body. That energy has risen. It is your momentum. It is your attainment. It is your personality in God. It is your inner Buddha. It is your inner Christ. That is what we have going for us, what we have already sent up. What impedes us and ties us to this planet with all of its burdens in this age is the karma that is negative. These are our misuses of God's energy, such as fear, such as doubt, such as anger, such as aggression, all of the perversions of these 7 rays. So this karma, by its very law, goes forth, this energy. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It goes forth, it circles the planet. By the law of the circle, it returns to us, and it gathers at those levels of our being, at the levels of those chakras. So when the Kundalini is risen, when we meditate to raise that prematurely, that sacred fire will awaken some of that bad karma and those records. And that is why people may have a very bad experience in meditation or in prematurely raising the Kundalini. Saint Germain has sponsored our raising up of the Mother Flame, but he has told us we must give the violet flame and call for protection before we do, and then he will sponsor us at all times. Now, the taking of drugs, such as LSD, also opens the mind to those areas of karma, and therefore some people, though they have felt they have contacted the higher path through LSD, which is fine, that they found the path, but the danger of it is that it can just as easily give you a very bad experience in the astral plane and open up those pockets of karma prematurely and rent the auric garment or the auric field. So when we have the techniques of East and West of the Brotherhood, we do not need anything else to assist us in getting to God. Only the sacred fire and only the light. So before we begin at this time, our ritual is to invoke the 7 archangels for the protection of those 7 chakras and their sealing, because we seek to raise ourselves in light and become one with the Buddha. The Buddha has a tremendous aura and a tremendous fire around him. It is like approaching the throne of God. Therefore, we would put a mantle of protection upon ourselves, we would dress ourselves, we would create our own force field of light separate from the world so that we may come near to him and experience this dictation in our hearts. So on page 12 that we were turning to, you will see a hymn that we will sing to the 7 archangels. Now, if you will hold your finger in that page and look at the chart in the front one more time, I will tell you the archangels for the chakras. Archangel Michael is the archangel of the first ray of power at the throat, blue. Archangel Jophiel is the archangel of illumination. He guards the crown chakra, yellow. Archangel Chamuel is the angel of love, and he guards the heart chakra, divine love. Archangel Gabriel of the white light of the Divine Mother guards the base of the spine chakra, the white. Archangel Raphael, the great healer, the great musician, the great scientist, is the archangel of the 5th ray, the green at the 3rd eye. Archangel Uriel of the 6th ray, purple and gold, guards the solar plexus. Archangel Zadkiel of the 7th ray, the violet, guards the soul. So what we will do is sing to the 7 archangels, and I will make an invocation to them to seal your 7 chakras. The invocation is the call to God. The byword of the Brotherhood is that the call compels the answer. When the call is given and you desire to have it act where you are, it is done. There is no question about it. It is done. The archangels now can take themselves, a replica of themselves, which is called the electronic presence. That electronic presence of the archangel will be placed over you for the sealing of the corresponding chakra. All that is required of you is to give love and devotion to these great beings of light who are so ancient as the Ancient of Days, as to have been present at our birth with our twin flame in the great central sun. And that is a long, long time ago. They have been our keepers. When we call to them, they answer. Please stand. Beloved mighty I Am Presence, beloved inner Buddha and inner Christ of each and every one who is here, I call forth the light of Almighty God with us. I call for the great crystal cord within, and I call for each one to be set now beneath the bow tree, beneath his own vine and fig tree. Now, God, we open our temples, which are the temple of the living God. We call in the name I Am that I Am, in the names Sanat Kumara, Gautama Buddha, Maitreya, Jesus Christ, to the 7 archangels, in the name of the light bearers gathered here, all light bearers of the world and all who keep the flame of life. Come forth, 7 archangels, Archangel Michael, Jophiel, Chamuel, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, Zadkiel. Come forth, 7 mighty archangels, Michael, Jophiel, Chamuel, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, Zadkiel. Come with your divine compliments. Seal the 7 chakras now. Seal them in light, and let the violet flame flow, that we might experience in this communion with the One transmutation and world transmutation for the victory of planet Earth and her evolutions. Make us, O God, this day electrodes in this city of the 3rd eye chakra of the nation. Make us electrodes for the anchoring of the living presence of the Lord of the world, Gautama Buddha, and of our own inner Buddha. We thank thee, O Lord, and we know that thou hearest our every call, and we say in the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and the Divine Mother, It is done. Page 12, number 46. Hymns and mantras are the means of sending devotion, which is a tangible current of divine love from your heart chakra. Your heart chakra is the foundation of your meditation and your directing of love to the heavenly hosts. You create a cord which ties you to each one to whom you pray, whether it is Mother Mary or Lord Krishna or Jesus or Gautama or Confucius or Lao Tzu. Your meditations upon God, the Infinite One, create this tunnel of light, and on the return current, God sends to you a tremendous reinforcement of light, and thereby your chakras become filled with light. We seek then the protection for the light that returns to us, and we call forth that protection by these two mantras on page 12. The first one is Lord Michael, and you visualize Archangel Michael as you see him on the screen. He always wields a sword of blue flame, and he will cut you free from all burdens of this world and all addictions. Whatever you desire to be delivered of, if you have the desire, the pure desire to be free from smoking or overeating or wasting time or procrastination or the idling of the mind or any condition in your life, you visualize that magnificent sword of blue flame around you now, and this beautiful archangel standing before, behind, to the left, to the right, beneath, above, and in the center of your form, and unlimited numbers of blue lightning angels protecting you. This mantra is traveling protection. You give it in the car, you give it in the subway, you give it wherever you are.
Lord Michael before, Lord Michael behind, Lord Michael to the right, Lord Michael to the left, Lord Michael above, Lord Michael below, Lord Michael, wherever I go. I am His love protecting here, I am His love protecting here, I am His love protecting here. Lord Michael before, Lord Michael behind, Lord Michael to the right, Lord Michael to the left, Lord Michael above, Lord Michael below, Lord Michael, wherever I go. I am His love protecting here, I am His love protecting here, I am His love protecting here. Lord Michael before, Lord Michael behind, Lord Michael to the right, Lord Michael to the left, Lord Michael above, Lord Michael below, Lord Michael, wherever I go. I am His love protecting here, I am His love protecting here, I am
Now, if you look at number 44, and if we can have the chart of the presence up again, this is the call for the protection of the I am that I am that was revealed to Moses. And when Moses said, "What is thy name?" God said, "I am who I am, and this is my memorial for all generations. This name of the Lord, the Yud He Vav He, belongs to you. It is the name of your inner God. And when you call upon that name, the Lord will answer without fail." And what I want you to visualize now as you look at this chart of the I am that I am surrounded by your causal body, when you give this decree on page 12, "I am presence, thou art master," you are declaring that there is one God and only one God. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Whether revealed in the Buddha or in the Christ or in yourself, there is only one God, and yet he is individualized a billion times a billion. 1 times 1 times 1 always equals 1. We do not worship many gods, but we bow to the light of the one God in one another, in the angels, in the ascended masters, and in the lights of all history. Your visualization for this mantra then is to see the mantle, the garment, the robe, the living presence of the I am that I am drop around you, because you are affirming that your God presence is the master of your life. There is no other master over you, no one who can take authority over you, only the I am presence. You do not allow the carnal mind to be your master. You do not allow your bad habits or your lusts to be your master. The I am presence is your master. And when you affirm this, that mighty I am presence descends around you, and you are strengthened in your will and in your desire and your love to be more godlike. This is the most miraculous mantra you can give every day of your life. It is very simple to give, and we're going to give it now 9 times with this recording.
I am presence,
Thou art master, I am presence, clear the way. Let thy light and all thy power take possession here this hour. Charge with victory's mastery, blaze, blue lightning, blaze thy substance into this thy form descend. That perfection and its glory shall blaze forth and earth transcend. I am presence, thou art master, I am presence, clear the way. Let thy light and all thy power take possession here this hour. Charge with victory's mastery, blaze, blue lightning, blaze thy substance into this thy form descend. That perfection and its glory shall blaze forth and earth transcend. I am presence, thou art master, I am presence, clear the way. Let thy light and all thy power take possession here this hour. Charge with victory's mastery, blaze, blue lightning, blaze thy substance into this thy form descend. That perfection and its glory shall blaze forth and earth transcend. I am presence, thou art master, I am presence, clear the way. Let thy light and all thy power take possession here this hour. Charge with victory's mastery, blaze, blue lightning, blaze thy substance into this thy form descend. That perfection and its glory shall blaze forth and earth transcend. I am presence, thou art master, I am presence, clear the way. Let thy light and all thy power take possession here this hour. Charge with victory's mastery, blaze, blue lightning, blaze thy substance into this thy form descend. That perfection and its glory shall blaze forth and earth transcend. I am presence, thou art master, I am presence, clear the way. Let thy light and all thy power take possession here this hour. Charge with victory's mastery, blaze, blue lightning, blaze thy substance into this thy form descend. That perfection and its glory shall blaze forth and earth transcend. I am presence, thou art master, I am presence, clear the way. Let thy light and all thy power take possession here this hour. Charge with victory's mastery, blaze, blue lightning, blaze thy substance into this thy form descend. That perfection and its glory shall blaze forth and earth transcend. I am presence, thou art master, I am presence, clear the way. Let thy light and all thy power take possession here this hour. Charge with victory's mastery, blaze, blue lightning, blaze thy substance into this thy form descend. That perfection and its glory shall blaze forth and earth transcend. I am presence, thou art master, I am presence, clear the way. Let thy light and all thy power take possession here this hour. Charge with victory's mastery, blaze, blue lightning, blaze thy substance into this thy form descend. That perfection and its glory shall blaze forth and earth transcend. Finally, you see on the chart the tube of light. The tube of light starts in the heart of your I am presence. It surrounds the middle figure in the chart, who is the inner Buddha and the inner Christ, and it surrounds you. This is our final call for protection, and then we will begin our lecture. This is page 4, the tube of light. we always stand to invoke it in honor of our I Am Presence. Hands cupped, feet flat on the floor, and spines erect. Our meditation is always simultaneous with our spoken word, because the spoken word is the power of creation. God spoke and he said, "Let there be light," and there was light. So when you speak, the entire fruit of your meditation can become physical, and that is the goal of your life, to draw into the physical all that you receive when you rise in meditation. You anchor it by the spoken word. This is why spoken mantras are so very important. You can give them at the conclusion of your daily meditation or yoga, but when you give the decrees, you are visualizing or meditating. You are visualizing what you are saying happening through the intense light rays emitted through your 7 chakras. See this white light, dazzling white light, more bright than the sun on new fallen snow, forming around you now, your tube of light, going out 9 feet in radius from your heart center, clothing you in this magnificent form of protection that is with you. Together. Beloved, I am presence bright, round me seal your tube of light, from ascended master flame, call forth now in God's own name. Let it keep my temple free from all discord sent to me. I am calling forth violet fire to blaze and transmute all desire, keeping on in freedom's name till I am one with a violet flame. Beloved, I am presence bright, round me seal your tube of light, from ascended master flame, call forth now in God's own name. Let it keep my temple free from all discord sent to me. I am calling forth violet fire to blaze and transmute all desire, keeping on in freedom's name till I am one with a violet flame. Beloved, I am presence bright, round me seal your tube of light, from ascended master flame, call forth now in God's own name. Let it keep my temple free from all discord sent to me. I am calling forth violet fire to blaze and transmute all desire, keeping on in freedom's name till I am one with a violet flame. Thank you. Please be seated. The ancient home of the Buddhas is Shambhala. It is a retreat now in the etheric octave or the heaven world, located over the Gobi Desert in Mongolia. It was originally the retreat of Sanat Kumara, who came long, long ago when Earth was at her darkest place, when all light had gone out in her evolutions and there was not a single individual on the planet who gave adoration to the inner Buddha or the inner Christ. Sanat Kumara, with a band of 144,000 souls of light, volunteered to come to Earth to give adoration to that flame of the heart until mankind and those here would respond. And so those who went before him, 400, built this great, magnificent retreat of Shambhala on an island in the Gobi Sea that was located where the Gobi Desert now is. It was Gautama Buddha who was the first one to respond to the heart of Sanat Kumara. And so in the lineage of the many Buddhas, he became the one who was tutored by him and who finally in this century was able to take that office and that calling of Sanat Kumara, and Sanat Kumara then placed upon him his mantle. It was in 1956 that Gautama succeeded him in the office of Lord of the World. And so Gautama Buddha became the hierarch of the retreat of Shambhala. On New Year's Eve, 1976, Gautama Buddha announced that one day Shambhala would be transferred to America. He said, "America is indeed the place where all shall return to the cause and core of the Dharma, the teaching and the Sangha. For here we will transfer that city of light one day. It will be the implementation now of a secondary force field. The Omega aspect of Shambhala, as the Alpha aspect remains positioned where it is. So the yang presence of Gautama Buddha remains in that point of Shambhala in the east, over that ancient island of the Gobi Sea. In 1981, Gautama established his western Shambhala over the heart of what is called the Inner Retreat. It is the 33,000-acre Royal Teton Ranch that his devotees have secured through this activity that I represent, the Summit Lighthouse. And those 33,000 acres bordering on Yellowstone Park provide an island valley, a most beautiful island valley where we hold our summer conferences on the border of Yellowstone Park. And in the etheric octave over that inner retreat is the force field of the Western Shambhala, the Omega, or the Yin force field. On April 18th, 1981, dictating through me, Gautama Buddha said, "From Shambhala I arc a light. I would establish the ground of the Ancient of Days." The term in the Old Testament, Ancient of Days, one whom Daniel knew, is the name of Sanat Kumara. Gautama says, "In this hour I contemplate, note it well, the arcing of the flame of Shambhala to the inner retreat as the western abode of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas and the Bodhisattvas to be, who are the devotees of the Mother Light. When you sit in meditation in this place prepared, if you have a high degree of meditation and communion with the octaves of light, you can see the Bodhisattvas out of the Tushita heaven meditating around this center and the Lord of the world." And so yesterday when I came to you, this location that I'm speaking of is at about 6,000 feet. It is above the Yellowstone River, which is at about 5,000 feet. And we had a summer blizzard, a spring blizzard, I should say. And it was a very wet snow, and all of the magnificent trees and the landscape were covered with this wet snow that did cling to every branch and twig until you would think you were in a wonderland of heaven. And so I have come out of this white fire core of the Divine Mother's devotion to the Buddha and the elementals, bringing to you this tremendous radiation of this land and of this light. So grateful for your presence that we may all provide the chalice to receive the dictation of Gautama Buddha. I'm very happy to be with you so that I can correct the age-old misconceptions of the concept of the inner Christ and the inner Buddha, especially in the West, which has divided those of every faith because of the misunderstanding of who is Christ, who is Buddha, who are we, and what is the flame in the heart. For those of you who may not have a Buddhist background, I will quickly give you the teachings of Gautama. He was born Siddhartha Gautama in northern India in 563 BC on the day of the full moon in the month of May. He was the son of the king and queen of the Sakya kingdom, thus making Siddhartha a member of the warrior and ruler caste. On the 5th day following his birth, 108 Brahmins were invited to a name-giving ceremony at the palace. The king summoned 8 of the most learned Brahmins to read the child's destiny by interpreting his bodily marks and physical characteristics. 7 agreed that if he remained at home, he would become a universal king, unifying India. But if he left, he would become a Buddha and remove the veil of ignorance from the world. The 8th Brahmin declared that he would definitely become a Buddha, renouncing the world after seeing the 4 signs: an old man, a diseased man, a dead man, and a holy man. The child was named Siddhartha, which means one whose aim is fulfilled. One whose aim is fulfilled. Let us claim it. Let us know that we will fulfill our fiery destiny in this life in the name of our own inner Buddha. Let us say together, I am the one whose aim is fulfilled. 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 When you say the name I am, the verb to be, you are saying the name of God. It is the same as the Eastern Om. And you give power to your affirmation, and it is fulfilled. And so if you say you are sick and unhappy and in want and all those things, you will fulfill that also, because you are the arbiter of your destiny. The king, concerned about the Brahmin's predictions and the possibility of losing his heir, did all he could to shelter his son from pain and suffering. He surrounded him with every conceivable luxury, including 3 palaces and 40,000 dancing girls. At 16, Siddhartha married. The turning point of his life occurred when he was 29, as he set out on 4 journeys during which he encountered a decrepit old man leaning on a staff, a pitiful man racked with disease lying in the road, a corpse, and finally a yellow-robed monk with shaved head and a begging bowl. Moved with compassion by the first 3 sights, he realized that life was subject to old age, disease, and death. The 4th sight signified to him the possibility of overcoming these conditions and inspired him to leave the world he knew in order to find a solution to suffering. Upon his return home from his 4th journey, the prince left his wife and newborn son, assumed the guise of an ascetic, and began the life of a wandering monk. Gautama went in search of the most learned teachers of the day. He quickly mastered all that they taught and became dissatisfied and restless. He joined a group of 5 ascetics and for almost 6 years practiced severe austerities. As a consequence of his bodily mortifications, he became so weak that he fainted and was believed to be dead. After recovering from this experience, Gautama realized the futility of asceticism and abandoned his austerities to seek his own path of enlightenment, whereupon his 5 companions rejected him and deserted him. One day a villager's daughter fed him a rich rice milk which gave him great strength. Following this meal, he sat beneath a fig tree and vowed not to move until he had attained enlightenment. Gautama was sitting beneath his own I Am presence, his own inner Buddha, his own inner Christ. He would not be moved from that meditation, from that oneness, until he would know the answer to life's questions. The tree became known as the Bo tree, an abbreviation for Bodhi, or enlightenment, and the place was named the immovable spot. While Gautama sat in meditation, Mara, the evil one, confronted him with temptations, much in the same manner that Satan tested Jesus during his fasting in the wilderness. And of course, the same Mara or Satan will come to you when you decide to be God in manifestation. Mara first taunted him with the words, "Why do you struggle? Hard is struggle, hard to struggle all the time." Doesn't this come to you on the spiritual path when you place yourself in confrontation of the lesser self, and therefore you say, "Why should I struggle? God did not intend me to struggle." Well, that's the devil talking to you. Those are the fallen angels. It is a struggle. It is a work, and a mighty work of the ages, to go against the tide of our own past karma. And therefore the temptation comes supposedly in words of wisdom, words which would apply elsewhere, but they do not apply to the spiritual path. Mara continued his attack by parading voluptuous goddesses and dancing girls before him. Then he assailed him with hurricanes, torrential rains, flaming rocks, boiling mud, fierce soldiers, beasts, and finally darkness. This is the opposition to every project in your life, every good that you would do, your education, your profession, your marriage, your children, your destiny. This is the opposition you receive, and if you don't recognize that there is a warfare going on, that there is opposition to the fulfillment of your divine destiny, that your soul must stand strong with the inner Buddha and the inner Christ, you will cave in to these momentums of the world, because no one is telling you today that the byword of those who are the overcomers is fight. And you have to fight the good fight and win, as the Apostle Paul said, against your own human karma and against the ancient records of yourself, and then the world that comes to join it. As a last resort, Mara challenged his right to be doing what he was doing. And that is what the not-self of you, the antithesis of the inner Buddha, will do to you and say, "How come you're doing what you're doing? You have no right to be doing that. You have no right to sit under your I Am presence. That's my place. You have no right to enthrone the Buddha in your heart. That's my place." The tyrant ego wants to reign over you. And so you have to defend your right to be doing what you are doing when you know it's right and all the world tells you that it's wrong. And so what does Siddhartha do? He uses the earth-touching mudra. He taps the earth, and the earth thundered her answer. I bear you witness. Therefore all of earth and elemental life will affirm, will champion the son, the daughter of God, who does affirm his right to sit under his own bow tree. Whereupon Mara fled. All the hosts of darkness must flee when you affirm your right in the name of God to be who you are. Gautama spent the rest of the night in deep meditation, in samadhi, finally attaining his enlightenment or awakening. This took place on the day of the full moon in the month of May, about the year 528 BC. Only a very, very short time ago, 2,500 years, you may have been alive and in embodiment when Gautama himself attained enlightenment. After returning with the Four Noble Truths, he ascended into nirvana for 49 days, the power of 7 times 7. He was in that bliss, 7 bands of your causal body, 7 chakras below, that light weaving as above, so below, creating this filigree of light, this meshing of light between the lower self and the higher self. He turned his attention once again to the world. He found Mara waiting for him with one last temptation. And here is this temptation that comes to each and every one of us. How can your experience be translated into words? Return to nirvana. Do not try to deliver your message to the world, for no one will comprehend it. Remain in bliss. The fallen angels know that we are all safe in our causal body of light where we go into nirvana. Everyone is in realms of perfection. There is no threat to deliver the message in the higher octaves. Where souls are lost and have lost the way on earth, that is where the fallen angels are threatened, because they are still in a position to enslave the millions of people on this planet. This is where we deliver the message. We come down from the mountains, we come down from the Himalayas, we go into the streets of the cities, and we embody the message and we deliver it. Gautama Buddha was not about to be swayed. He was not about to be convinced. He replied, there will be some who will understand. Some will understand. 1,000 may deny the message, but one will understand, and that one will become the Buddha. And that is your rejoicing. Not that you are accepted, but that the one becomes the Buddha because of the teaching you transmit. Mara vanished from his life forever. Gautama journeyed to Benares and delivered to his 5 former companions his first sermon, in which he revealed the key discoveries of his quest, the 4 Noble Truths, the Eightfold Path, and the Middle Way. He accepted the 5 monks as the first members of his order. He established the Sangha, or the community, that soon numbered over 1,200 devotees. Houston Smith writes in his Religions of Man, nearly half a century followed, during which Buddha trudged the dusty paths of India until his hair was white, step in firm, and body naught but a burst drum, preaching the ego-shattering, life-redeeming elixir of his message. He founded an order of monks, challenged the deadness of Brahmin society, and accepted in return the resentment, queries, and bewilderment his words provoked. His daily routine was staggering. In addition to training monks, correcting breaches of discipline, and generally directing affairs of the order, he maintained an interminable schedule of public preaching, private counseling, advising the perplexed, encouraging the faithful, and comforting the distressed. At the age of 80, Gautama became seriously ill and almost died, but he revived himself, believing it was not right to die without preparing his disciples. By sheer determination, he recovered and instructed his cousin and close disciple Ananda. For 3 more months, he traveled through several villages and then stayed with Kunda the goldsmith, one of his devoted followers. According to tradition, Kunda unknowingly served Gautama a meal that contained poisoned mushrooms. Gautama became violently ill. Concerned that Kunda might feel responsible for his death, he compassionately asked Ananda to tell Kunda that of all the meals he had eaten, only two stood out as special blessings. One was the meal served to him before his enlightenment, and the other was the food from Kunda, which opened the gates to his transition. Gautama passed during the full moon of May, about 483 BC. And so today, on this full moon in 1989, we celebrate WESAK, which commemorates his birth, enlightenment, and parinirvana, that is, his final nirvana of Gautama Buddha some 2,500 years ago. In Gautama's first sermon following his enlightenment, he outlined the Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path. He explained that by avoiding the extremes of self-indulgence and self-mortification, one gains knowledge of the middle path or the middle way. I would say that in the East we have a tendency toward greater self-mortification, and in the West we have a tendency toward greater self-indulgence. We do need the middle way. This middle way leads to 5 conditions of consciousness, which correspond to the 5 secret rays and the paths of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas that I have taught at other lectures, and which are on tape if you would like them. These 5 conditions of consciousness are insight, wisdom, calmness, knowledge, enlightenment. And these 5 lead to nirvana. The 4 noble truths that he taught his disciples are the following. First, that life is dukkha, suffering. Second, that the cause of this suffering is tanha, desire. Tanha translates as thirst. Wanting something that we do not have makes us suffer. Third, that freedom or sensation from suffering is in the attainment of nirvana. Nirvana is also known by the term tanakaya, which is the extinction of thirst. The 4th noble truth is that the way to this liberation is through the noble eightfold path, or the middle way. This path of the middle way also corresponds to the chakras, so now we will look at the chakra man. The first of the Noble Eightfold Path is right understanding or right knowledge. This is the first ray and the will of God. And you see that as the throat chakra. The second is right thought or aspiration. That is the second ray, the yellow ray of illumination, the crown chakra. Right speech is the third ray, the pink ray of divine love. Out of the heart are the issues of life. Out of the heart is the divine love that allows us to have right speech because we love. The next is right action or right behavior, which comes on the white ray of purity, the 4th ray, the base chakra. Our actions are right when we are pure. When we have purity of motive, our actions will always be right. Right livelihood is the 5th ray, the green ray. This is the ray of science and precipitation, where we make things physical. This is how we earn our living. This is our profession and calling in life. The right livelihood is always right when we are centered in truth. This is the 5th ray, the green ray, and it is the 3rd eye chakra. Your right livelihood comes from pure vision and pure seeing of who you are and what you are to be in this life. Right effort comes on the 6th ray. It is the ray of ministration and service. It is the solar plexus chakra below the heart, the 6th ray of purple and gold. Right effort always involves service to one another, ministration to life, care. When you have care for all, you will always be in the right effort in your life. Right mindfulness is the 7th ray, the seat of the soul chakra, the violet ray of transmutation and freedom. It is a ray of ritual and freedom in religion as well as science and every other field. When freedom is your goal and motive, when the free will is wed to God's will, when you give to others their freedom, you are in right mindfulness, because free will is the very foundation of the path. Finally, the 8th of the Eightfold Path is right concentration or right absorption. This is the 8th ray of integration, symbolized by the figure 8, and we attain that integration through the heart. Now, in celebration of the Eightfold Path, I would like to invite you to give the mantra, I am light. It is page 6, number 24. This is written by Gautama, the Ascended Master, who was part of the founding of Theosophy. He was also embodied as St. Francis. He has written a book called Studies of the Human Aura, in which he gives you the visualization for this meditation of I am light. You see that scattered through it is the name of God, I am, which is capitalized. Wherever you see the name I am, it means God in me is. I am light. We're saying God in me is light. Or God is where I am, and where He is, I am His light, glowing light. When we give a decree like this, we are exercising free will to use the name of God that He gave to us, that is ours to use forever, and to qualify it with the affirmations which follow. You can compose your own I am affirmations. You can say, I am the resurrection and the life of my health, my perfect health now made manifest. That means you are affirming your God presence here below for that specific fulfillment of your perfect health. And you are setting a pattern based on an absolute statement that will be filled in by your decrees, by your mantras, by your change of diet, by your change of attitude and consciousness, all bringing your vibrations to that point of gathering the flame gathering more of itself to fulfill a matrix that you have decreed, perfect health. Now when we take a mantra dictated by an ascended master, it contains the keys to his I am presence, his causal body. So when you use a master's mantra, you are working together, and he, embodying that mantra, is multiplying its power in you, even as your I am presence is multiplying it. So this is the great advantage of using decrees that were dictated by the ascended masters. So I'd like you to use this and feel the power and know that you are saying this because God gave you His name, His divine presence or image, and gave you the authority of the spoken word through the spiritual center, the power center. Let's say it together. I am light, glowing light, radiating light, intensified light. God consumes my darkness, transmuting it into light. This day I am a focus of the central sun. Flowing through me is a crystal river, a living fountain of light that can never be qualified by human thought and feeling. I am an outpost of the divine. Such darkness as has used me is swallowed up by the mighty river of light which I am. I am, I am, I am light. I live, I live, I live in light. I am light's fullest dimension. I am light's purest intention. I am light, 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 flooding the world everywhere I move, blessing, strengthening, and conveying the purpose of the kingdom of heaven. I'll never forget the letter I received from a young man in Mexico who was involved in trading in marijuana and taking marijuana. And he said he received that book, he read that decree, and the first time he gave it, he knew he would never smoke marijuana again, nor trade in it. Now, those of you who think marijuana is harmless may not see any reason why that should come about. But first of all, it is an addiction, and it is a limitation because of the deposit it places in our brains. But secondly, it is harmful, and that's been medically proven and suppressed, and I've published the documents on that in our magazine, The Coming Revolution, in 3 separate articles on pot smoking in America. The point is, the path of light of our I am presence fulfills many of our needs instantaneously. In other words, we don't need these dependencies when the light descends, because it balances the yin and yang, or the plus and minus factors in our cells and in our chakras. Kufumi then, in his book, gives us an exercise for the strengthening of the aura. I would like to give it to you so that you can see how you can add the science of the spoken word to whatever path you are following today. He addresses this discourse to the student willing to experiment with cosmic law. Experiment. The ascended masters challenge us. We are already experimenters, and yet in the laboratory of self we are supremely unscientific. We do not take note of how our discordant feelings make us ill, affect our friends and loved ones, or how our harmonious thoughts and feelings bring about health and peace. We are not able to see the emanations that go forth from our temple that have an effect on the economy, on life in general, on every person in the city, and ultimately every person on the planet. What you do, think, feel, say, does affect every part of life. And the human dilemma is to take the responsibility for this oneness, this interconnection, and to realize we are not an island, we are not a law unto ourselves, and that to heal this planet, we have to be willing to surrender some of that selfish self in order for the community, the world community, to survive. So Kuthumi says, the thrust for a purpose envisioned by Master El Morya should be brought to bear not only upon the activities of the Brotherhood mutually coordinated on earth and in heaven, but also upon the life of each and every student. One of the first exercises I wish therefore to give to the students for the strengthening of the aura involves a threefold action. The student begins by visualizing the threefold flame expanding from within his heart. He then seals himself and his consciousness in a globe of white fire. And when he is set, he proceeds to recite the following words with utter humility and devotion. Kuthumi is asking for the preparation of consciousness. I would like to assist you in that preparation so that we are not merely repeating words, but entering into the very fires of creation. As you see yourself, now will you use the power of your imagination and your inner eye to visualize this white light and the violet light around you. If you are seated, it is best to uncross your legs and uncross your hands in a meditative posture, to take a deep breath and let your being be aligned. The threefold flame is the spark of your divinity. It is the action of the flame that is actually sealed in the secret chamber of the heart. The threefold flame is the focus of the Trinity, and it is depicted there as blue, yellow, and pink. Blue symbolizing the power of God or the Father principle. Yellow, the wisdom of God or the Son, and pink, the comfort of the Holy Spirit. The white base of the flame is the mother light, out of which the Trinity springs forth. That threefold flame is always visualized in the center of the chest, although we understand the heart, the physical heart, is slightly to the left. Kuthumi is asking that we visualize the threefold flame because it is the point of divinity in this octave. It is the spark of life. It descends from that I am presence, and at the transition called death, it is withdrawn as the soul rises to the etheric temple, to the etheric levels. So without the threefold flame, the heart, the physical heart, does not beat. It is the point we expand. In the hour of Jesus' resurrection, that threefold flame, which is 1/16 of an inch high in most people today, that threefold flame was larger than his physical body. By meditation, by his words and his works, he so expanded the Trinity that the Trinity was indwelling in him, and he dwelt in it. So that is the visualization of the flame in the heart. Then you seal yourself in a globe of white fire. If you close your eyes and visualize a sphere of white light intensifying around you, it is a protective force field. It is drawn forth from the I Am presence. It strengthens the aura, it seals the aura, it establishes your meditative posture. Moria and Kuthumi have told me that there are so many beautiful souls of light on earth who pursue the path of meditation, to whom more light cannot be given because they do not invoke the protection of that light or the protection of the aura. And unless the light and the aura be protected, it can easily be taken from the devotee. It is easily absorbed by the world itself, the parched and hungry earth that swallows up the light. Sometimes when you feel drained going into the city, or after a day when you really haven't exerted yourself, it is the earth itself drawing that light that you have drawn down. And so a requirement to be a Chela of the Ascended Masters is to learn to guard the light of the heart and of all of your chakras. So the power of vision, which is centered in the third eye, becomes more and more powerful as you exercise it, as you close your eyes and demand that what you say is also tangibly manifest in the aura. I'd like to give you this mantra of Kuthumi, and I'd like you to close your eyes and visualize the words that I'm saying, if you would like to. I am light, glowing light, radiating light, intensified light. God consumes my darkness, transmuting it into light. This day I am a focus of the central sun. Flowing through me is a crystal river, a living fountain of light that can never be qualified by human thought and feeling. I am an outpost of the divine. Such darkness as has used me is swallowed up by the mighty river of light which I am. I am light. I live in light. I am light's fullest dimension. I am light's purest intention. I am light, flooding the world everywhere I move, blessing, strengthening, and conveying the purpose of the kingdom of heaven. When we first give that mantra, we give it slowly and with intense feeling. We set the pattern. It becomes a part of the blueprint of the aura. Its engram goes into the very throat chakra, into the heart, into the soul. And as it is repeated again and again and again, we find that we can step up the vibration. The word itself accelerates within us, so that I have heard those who are the disciples who have given this mantra thousands of times give it in this way. I am light, glowing light, radiating light, intensified light. God consumes my darkness, transmuting it into light. This day I am the focus of the central sun. Flowing through me is a crystal river, a living fountain of light that can never be qualified by human thought and feeling. I am an outpost of the divine. Such darkness as has used me is swallowed up by the mighty river of light which I am. I am light. I live in light. I am light's fullest dimension. I am light's purest intention. I am light, flooding the world everywhere I move, blessing, strengthening, and conveying the purpose of the kingdom of heaven. Now Kuthumi gives us this instruction. As you visualize the cosmic white fire radiance around yourself, do not be concerned with the errors in your thought that through the years may have intruded themselves upon your consciousness. Do not allow yourself to concentrate upon any negative quality or condition. Do not let your attention rest upon your supposed imperfections. Instead, see what the light can do for you.
See how even your physical form can change, how a strengthening of the bonds of your health can occur in body, mind, and spirit. Try this exercise, simple though it may seem, and know that many ascended beings will be performing it with you.
I'm asking you to use the chakra man and to visualize this light expanding equally in your 7 chakras at this time. Together. I am light, glowing light, radiating light, intensified light. God consumes my darkness, transmuting it into light. This day I am a focus of the central sun. Flowing through me is a crystal river, a living fountain of light that can never be qualified by human thought and feeling. I am an outpost of the divine. Such darkness as has used me, swallowed up by the mighty river of light which I am. I am light. I live in light. I am light's fullest dimension. I am light's purest intention. I am light, flooding the world everywhere I move, blessing, strengthening, and conveying the purpose of the kingdom of heaven. Listen how you can accelerate the decree by the tones, raising the tone and accelerating the speed. Together. I am light, glowing light, radiating light, intensified light. God consumes my darkness, transmuting it into light. This day I am a focus of the central sun. Flowing through me is a crystal river, a living fountain of light that can never be qualified by human thought and feeling. I am an outpost of the divine. Such darkness as has used me is swallowed up by the mighty river of light which I am. I am light. I live in light. I am light's fullest dimension. I am light's purest intention. I am light, flooding the world everywhere I move, blessing, strengthening, and conveying the purpose of the kingdom of heaven. I am light, glowing mind, radiating light, intensified light. God consumes my darkness, transmuting it into light. This day I am a focus of the central sun. Flowing through me is a crystal river, a living fountain of light that can never be qualified by human thought and feeling. I am an outpost of the divine. Such darkness as has used me is swallowed up by the mighty river of light which I am. I am light. I live in light. I am light's fullest dimension. I am light's purest intention. I am light, flooding the world everywhere I move, blessing, strengthening, and conveying the purpose of the kingdom of heaven. At the Royal Teton Ranch, I will be teaching an 8-week course this summer beginning on July 5th. And it will be the very same teachings I'm giving to you, the foundational teachings of Sanat Kumara Gautama Buddha, the Universal Christ, Maitreya, Kuan Yin, and of course, Jesus. So if you would like to pursue what I'm teaching today, that is the time to come to the Royal Teton Ranch. Let us take up then the first sermon of Gautama following his enlightenment. He preached the middle way. He speaks to his disciples, bhikkhus, and he says, "There are 2 extremes, O bhikkhus, which the man who has given up the world ought not to follow. The habitual practice on the one hand of self-indulgence, which is unworthy, vain, and fit only for the worldly minded, and the habitual practice on the other hand of self-mortification, which is painful, useless, and unprofitable. Neither abstinence from fish or flesh, nor going naked, nor shaving the head, nor wearing matted hair, nor dressing in a rough garment, nor covering oneself with dirt, nor sacrificing to Agni will cleanse a man who is not free from delusions." When you are free from your delusions, you may or may not choose to engage in those practices. They are helpful, but symbolic, and if they are mere covering, and we are still full of dead men's bones, then they avail nothing and only convince us we are getting somewhere when we are not. I would like to show you now the chart of the presence and show you the Buddhist doctrine of the Trikaya, or of the 3 bodies. This is very similar to our teaching on the chart, and it is certainly identical to the teaching of Jesus Christ, teachings that are not published in the Gospels, teachings that come down to us through Gnosticism, through the Nag Hammadi texts, but above all, they come to us through the Holy Spirit, as Jesus promised he would send to us another comforter who would teach us all things that he had taught us and bring them to our remembrance. This is the nature of the Trinity within you. This is you. The lower figure in the chart is yourself. I think we can show a blow-up of that picture, and you can see yourself. You are standing in the tube of light. The blue cylinder that you invoked from Archangel Michael, the additional protection, would be outside the tube of light. This is the violet flame of the Holy Spirit, the seventh ray aspect of the Holy Spirit. And when you invoke this violet flame, you are transmuting karma. And this, along with service to life, enables you to balance karma completely in this embodiment. So that's the lower figure in the chart that you can't quite see. It is the third of the three bodies I will describe. Now we'll go back to the full chart. The Buddha teaches that every potential Buddha possesses three aspects or bodies. Every one of you here, whether in a male or female body, has the potential to be the Buddha. And that is a great joy to consider. That means the enlightened one. The first body is the one that does correspond to the lower figure in the chart, and that is the body you are wearing now. It is the body of transformation. It's the body of change, the body of alchemy. Change and alchemy and freedom and soul liberation are the signs of the age of Aquarius. New ages are 2,000 years long, so we have not by any means passed Aquarius or the New Age. This is the Nirmanakaya, the body of transformation. The next body is the middle figure in the chart, and that is the figure of the inner Christ or the inner Buddha. It is called the Sambhogakaya. It is the body of bliss, which corresponds to that universal Christ or universal Buddha. It is the body of your higher consciousness, your higher mind, your higher knowing, your higher intuition. That person or that body above you is your teacher. One day you become fused to that teacher. You are one with that teacher. You are that teacher. And you may walk the earth wearing that body. That teacher is called your holy Christ self or your holy Buddha self. The Sambhogakaya then is the inner guru, as is your inner Buddha. And as Sanat Kumara and Lord Buddha came to that island in the Gobi Sea, where there was the palace of light, so you have a secret chamber of the heart. The Apostle Paul spoke of the hidden man of the heart. And in that secret chamber of the heart, which is the eighth ray chakra, which points to the eighth way that we mentioned, right absorption, right concentration. In that chamber is where you meet the inner Buddha and you meet the inner Christ. And you may visualize yourself going there by way of the heart chakra. You see, the only way you get into the secret chamber is through love. And so you must have passed the tests and the initiation of the love of the heart. You pass through then that love chakra, and there is, as it were, a temple door at the rear. You go through the door and you enter the secret chamber, and there, seated upon the throne, is that inner Buddha, that inner Christ. You bow before that inner Buddha and inner Christ, who is the inner guru, who will initiate you into the full path of Buddhahood and Christhood. So this comes through the Sambhogakaya. You see, it is the eightfold path. All of these rightfulnesses of the eight steps are actually a formula for restoring our alignment with our inner being. If we follow that path, which was taught by Jesus in all of his parables and teachings, you will find that you come into alignment or into congruency with the inner Christ and the inner Buddha, and this second of the three bodies, the Sambhogakaya. The third body is the body of the I am that I am, the causal body. And it is the great body of perfection, the great source of life, the Dharmakaya. It is the body of essence, the body of the sacred fire. It corresponds to the upper figure in the chart. Scholars have commented on the similarity of this doctrine to Christian teaching. Buddhist scholar Ananda Kumaraswamy writes, "It hardly differs from what is implied in the Christian doctrine of incarnation, and it is not unlikely that both are inheritors from common Gnostic sources. The doctrine of incarnation is that the second person of the Trinity, God the Son, took on human form as Jesus and thus united the divine and human natures." Kumar Swami concludes that the Dharmakaya, the upper body, may be compared to the Father, the Sambhogakaya to the Christ, and the Nirmanakaya to the visible son or daughter of God, yourself or Jesus, who announces in human speech, "I and my Father are one. I and my causal body or Dharmakaya are one. I and my Sambhogakaya are one." This is in truth the parallel paths of East and West in Christianity and Buddhism and all religions. It is that we attain to the three in one, that we draw down upon us on earth the upper bodies, the Sambhogakaya and the Dharmakaya. Buddhists believe that each aspirant to Buddhahood puts on successfully the three bodies. He begins at the level of the Nirmanakaya, puts on the Sambhogakaya when he attains Bodhisattvahood. Bodhisattvahood is the state of discipleship. A disciple is one who is self-disciplined under the inner Buddha and the inner Christ. When he attains enlightenment, he has also achieved union of the three bodies. When he is put on the Dharmakaya, he becomes the Buddha, the fully enlightened one. According to the teachings of the Ascended Masters, when you fully integrate with these three bodies, you are ready for the ascension. The ascension is where the process whereby you are assumed unto God. You never need go forth again into the veils of karma and reincarnation. You have ascended, you have mastered this level of life, and therefore you are called an ascended master. And so these are the saints robed in white who are figured in Revelation chapter 7, verses 9, 13, and 14, speaks about a multitude of all nations, kindreds, and tongues and peoples. They have come from every walk of life, every religion, and they are wearing white robes, and they are seated or standing around the throne of the Lamb, the universal Christ. And these have washed their robes, their consciousness, their karma in the blood, the life essence of the Lamb. They have gone through transmutation. They are all robed in white. They are called the saints robed in white by the Church, and by the Great White Brotherhood that comprises them, they are called the Ascended Masters, the angelic hosts, the cosmic beings. So it is these saints who have attained to this perfection, this divine union, who now are our teachers. They are our teachers because they have done what we are intended to do. They have ascended. They have gone beyond. They are fully God-free beings. They are immortals. They do not come from the spirit world. They are not discarnates. They are not simply disembodied people. They are ascended masters, and they are one with God, and therefore their communication is safe and holy light and cannot lead us astray. From the level of the Dharmakaya, he may still make use of the other two bodies for the purpose of communicating with and assisting life. So this is what Gautama Buddha will do. He will step down from his Dharmakaya body to his Sambhogakaya. He will use the messenger's body, the Nirmanakaya, and your bodies, and he will transmit in word, in energy, and in vibration his message. And we all become receptacles for it. When these bodies are united and are experienced simultaneously, they are known as Vajrakaya. And Vajra means the diamond, and that is the symbol of the ascended state. I would like to take up with you now the mantra Om Ahum Vajra Guru Padme Siddhi Hum. It is back on that same page we were on. Page 14, it is the first of the mantras of number 53. Now you will notice that there are 8 syllables to this mantra, which goes back to the Eightfold Path of Enlightenment. This is Sanskrit, and it gives to us, each word, the ability for the incarnation of these 3 bodies as one. This mantra was given to us by Padmasambhava, It means, may immortal life be vouchsafed. Amen. It begins, Om, may immortal life be vouchsafed. Amen. Now that is your affirmation that where you are, you now are decreeing or affirming that you are embodying the flame of immortal life. And while we are in embodiment, we are intended to affirm this for all of our life, by our decrees, by our words, and by our works, so that when the hour of transition comes, we are ready to step forth from that lower vehicle, the Nirmanakaya, that is no longer useful, into the body, the Sambhogakaya of Christ or Buddha, and into the higher body, the Dharmakaya. This is your goal in this life, and it is the most important act and reason for being that you can have, to be absolutely certain that by the time you are called to exit this temple you are wearing, you will have enough momentum of light that you will not be caught in the astral plane with discarnates and the lower orders of life streams who have spent their life in indulgence and in squandering their energy. It is important to think of these things because the fact of life is that we are wearing mutable, mortal, corporeal forms. They will not last forever, but the goal of the soul is to become permanent in God. And the soul is not permanent until she has woven her wedding garment, the seamless garment of the soul, the Sambhogakaya, the middle body and the upper body. So we all have that assignment, and if we don't fulfill it, we will return to these same forms of bodies, perhaps under much worse conditions than we have today. Padmasambhava is the lotus-born one. He comes in the tradition and lineage of Gautama. He lived in the 8th century. This Padmasambhava is an ascended master, and quite a number of years ago, he placed upon me the mantle of Guru in the lineage of Padmasambhava, in the lineage of Gautama Buddha. And so the mantle I wear is Guru, and I am called Guru Ma because I embody the flame of Mother, the Mother as teacher, and the one who is devoted to the Divine Mother, who is the teacher of us all. Wearing this mantle, I am the servant of the light within you. The teacher is always the servant, and that is the role of teacher, to serve the light in you and to assist you to unfold that light. Our beloved Padmasambhava was living in a time of unrest much like our own. His country was swept by famine and drought. The royal treasury and granaries were emptied. Confidence in religion disappeared. Padma was the master of all knowledge. He learned 360 languages, the lapidary arts, and the inner-outer secret teachings of Buddhism. His coming had been foretold by Gautama Buddha at Gautama Buddha's passing. Padma converted his country to Tantric Buddhism, elevating the people from barbarism to spirituality. He gave this mantra to bless life during time of troubles, when three great evils of disease, poverty, and warfare, with terrifying weapons, would increase. And this is the story of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse and all of the prophecies of our time, which I will be delivering to you in this hall tomorrow afternoon. This mantra celebrates God as the personification of the Trinity. And so it is the celebration of the Trikaya, this tree of life of 3 bodies. The word Om indicates the point of origin. A, inspiration. Hum, expression. Those 3 syllables are for the 3 bodies. Om is for your Dharmakaya. A is for your Sambhogakaya, your inner Buddha. Hum, the Nirmanakaya. These 3 respectively correspond to the crown, the throat, and the heart chakras. Vajra, this is the union of the 3. Guru, inner wisdom. Padme, fearless compassion. Siddhi, power of Dharma realm. Hum, oneness of qualities in us. Lama Govinda explains another way to think of the mantra. After having experienced the Dharmakaya of universality in the Om, the Sambhogakaya of inspirational light in the A, the Nirmanakaya of spiritual transformation and realization on the human plane in the Hum of this mantra, Om Ah Hum, one will experience the mirror-like wisdom in the transparent adamantine scepter of the Vajra. the wisdom of equality in the Guru, the distinguishing wisdom of inner vision in the Padme, the all-accomplishing wisdom in the Siddhi, the attainment, and the integration of all these wisdoms in the final Hum of the Vajra Kaya, the unification of the three bodies. The mantra has mudras, hand motions that go with each syllable. We are giving 8 syllables corresponding to the 7 chakras and 7 rays and the 8-fold chakra of the heart, which is the chamber behind the heart, behind the 12-petal chakra. So we can think of these mudras as tuning all the 7 chakras. For your notes, I'll give you again. The Om is the Dharmakaya, the A, the Sambhogakaya, Hum, the Nirmanakaya. Vajra is the mirror-like wisdom of the scepter of power. One finds the wisdom of equality in the Guru, inner vision in the Padme, all-accomplishing wisdom, the power of wisdom or attainment in the Siddhi, and the integration of all in the final, the 8th syllable, Vajrakaya. We celebrate the 3 bodies in the first mudra, which is simply Om, Ah, Hum, the crown chakra, the throat, and the heart for the 3 bodies. Vajra, which is the earth-touching mudra, which gives us the thunderbolt and the scepter of power to dispel illusion and the oppressors of light. This is the earth-touching mudra. We simply touch the right knee with the right hand. We're always holding the lotus in our left hand and our heart. Vajra, then we turn over the hand, the palm is up. Guru is the givingness of the Guru and the receiving of the Chela or the disciple in that co-equality. Padme, we form a figure 8, joining our thumb and forefinger. The Siddhi is the right hand raised. It is the power to bless and the power to turn back all that is unreal, evil spirits, and those who come to tear down one's ascent into the 3 bodies. The Hum has the palms, the heels of the palms together, forming an open lotus. It is the sign of Hermes Trismegistus and the great Sanat Kumara, as above, so below. Let us give this together now. Padme Siri Hum. Om Ahum Vajra Guru Padme Siri Hum.